Alright, phase 2 is complete. Now that we got all the pad out. First we yanked the carpet out. Now we got the pad, the tack strip, the base, and then we also did the undercuts. That's where you get something that's about the height of what you're installing, and you use an undercut saw to undercut the trim. So now I can just slide the flooring right underneath it instead of having to try to notch around everything, which would be virtually impossible with this kind of trim you have here. You can see it's a decorative molding, so you would never be able to notch your wood floor around that. So you do an undercut and that gets all those pieces out of there. So now I'm just into final cleanup, and then we'll start installing wood flooring. Now another noted trick I'll show you is you end up with a lot of small pieces of base you pull out. Just take a marker, mark which walls they come off, because when you're trying to put them back in and you have pieces similar in size, it's a real pain trying to figure out what goes where. So that's a good trick to remember, is to mark your base when you have smaller pieces. Now obviously different lengths like this I don't waste my time with, because it's easy to determine where they go unless I had multiple pieces about the same length. So anyways, that's a good little trick. And then the last trick is on your punch. Make sure when you use a punch it's the same size as a nail. Usually you can find varying widths of punches, and if you use one that's too fat, you will split your trim. So let's say you decide that and your nails are finished nails, you're going to split your trim. That's really meant to punch out bigger nails. So to not split your trim up, you don't, because obviously sometimes you can't even replace this trim. It's been stained certain colors, whatever. You want to make sure you're not splitting it. In the case you do split it, like this little piece here when I was trying to get it off around the fireplace, then what you got to do right off the bat is, you'll see, I don't know if you can see, that's glued. I take Elmer's glue. There's two little spots here, one on the bottom. You just glue it, tape it, and by the time you get ready to put that back in, it'll be nice and hard. And when it goes in, you'll have little crack lines which you can fill with a putty, but much better than trying to find the trim and get it to restain. This is a special base, so it'd be hard to find this, and then you got to get it stained the same, and that'd be a real pain. So that's the trick for that. So anyways, all this was done with these tools. Right here, what you see, this yanks the nails out of the boards that are left in the trim boards. Just put that on and yank them right out. Your punch, your pry bars, and your hammers. Got all that out, and obviously the undercut saw got the trim out from the bottom. So now everything's cut out from underneath. So now we are ready for clean up and installing wood floors. So when I come back, we should have some wood flooring down.